I do think that we're going to pick up a lot of seats, and picking up whether it's 4, 5, or 6 seats in each case, that's a big win. And the same thing in the House. We're going to pick up a lot of seats in the House. This is a victory, and I think a complete rejection of the Obama administration's agenda. This really is, I think, Neil, really the last chance for the American people to pass judgment on the Obama agenda.
All right, folks, let's check out the House. We've talked so much about the Senate, and all the focus is on the Senate. Adam O'Neill, reporter for RealClearPolitics, is with us. Hello, Adam.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure. All right. Well, those who analyze and whose job it is to follow the Senate races, they have it pretty darn easy compared to you, don't they?
Yeah, there are a few less going on.
Yeah, I would imagine. All right. So there's Mitt Romney making a prediction that the Republicans will gain seats in the House. Of course, that wasn't the prediction by many during the government shutdown a year ago. So where are we, and what could we look for as far as pickups in the House? Or not by the Republicans?
Right. So you look back to last year, directly after the shutdown, and it looked like Republicans were poised to lose a few House seats. But over the last year, that's completely changed. And now the prognosticators are estimating between 5 and 12 seats. If we see sort of unexpected momentum and enthusiasm, because momentum is on the Republican side now, if we see that carry into Election Day, it may expand a bit more, but most people are thinking 5 to 10 Republican pickups overall.
I think the magic number is 13, which you just said is unlikely. If they were to pick up 13, they'd have their largest majority in the House since 1946.
Right. Well, I believe it's 9 seats. A 9-seat pickup will take them to 46 levels, and a 13-seat pickup will take them to 1932 levels.
Wow.
So this could be a historic majority for them.
Yeah.
And to kind of put in perspective how good the GOP has it in the House going into this. Right now, our RCP, we rate a couple dozen races toss-ups, and if the Republicans lost every one of those toss-ups, they would still hold on to their majority.
Wow. All right. Well, where should we look? I mean, for some of these pickups, I know Arizona's 2nd congressional district is currently held by a Democrat, and that's rated a toss-up by RCP.
Right, yeah. AZ2, that's Ron Barber, I believe, and Martha McSally is challenging him. She lost by less than a point in 2012, and this year looks a lot more favorable to her. Some polls have shown her up a couple points, but if she pulls it out and wins this one, it'll be kind of a bigger sign of how good the direction is for the Republicans.
Yeah, and she
also in Utah.
I'm sorry, I was going to say she's a retired Air Force colonel as well. We should point out. Who else are you going to go to another race?
Right. Right. You look in Utah, Jim Matheson is retiring. He had beaten Mia Love just barely in 2012, and now that he's retiring and it's an open race, she'll be coming, and she's an exciting candidate for Republicans. She's 38 years old, African-American, was a pretty popular mayor of a small town in Utah, and she gave a speech during the 2012 Republican National Convention, and House Republicans are really excited to have her come, and it looks like she's going to be there. There have been a couple polls that showed her a little closer to her Democratic opponent than she should be, but she'll probably also win.
Yeah, I know she was very disappointed last time around. Now, how about Nick Rahal? He's been in the House for decades and decades, West Virginia's 3rd district. This you guys have as a toss-up, or at least did have it as a toss-up.
Right. I've been to West Virginia a couple times this year, and we're really starting to see the end of an era. It's very difficult to get elected federally as a West Virginia Democrat. It could be that their entire congressional delegation turns red, except for Joe Manchin, who is one of the most conservative, if not the most conservative Democrats in the Senate. If Rahal loses to Evan Jenkins, it really sends a signal that West Virginia, at least federally, the West Virginia Democrats, their era has kind of come to an end after just, for most of the 20th century, just dominating the state.
We also have an interesting race in what used to be my home district, New York's 11th CD, where Michael Grimm, the Republican, the only Republican from the delegation in New York City, he is under indictment, yet he has a rather comfortable lead over his Democratic challenger, and this district encompasses part of Brooklyn, Bay Ridge, and then over the Verrazano Bridge and all of Staten Island.
Right. Grimm's challenger turned out to be fairly just not a good political candidate. He was very shaky on the issues, and Grimm, he is of Staten Island. He's for Staten Island, and his constituents seem to love him. He can have a bit of a temper. He threatened to throw a reporter off a balcony at the State of the Union, famously.
Yep.
But voters in his district don't seem to mind about some of these rougher edges. So we'll see what happens. But it looks like he's coasting there.
All right, Adam. We'll talk to you after the fact. And thanks for taking the time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, Steve.
My
Always
pleasure.
great to chat.
Thank you. Adam O'Neill, reporter for Real Clear Politics, looking at the House. When we come back, CEO of PJ Media, Roger Simon. Don't go away.